Hello. So I've joined in December, and I lead our sales effort, our go-to-market, direct, indirect, around the globe. So I appreciate you having me. I think it's important that I start with perhaps the most important message of all, which is thank you. You're the customers. Thank you for your business. And I think even more importantly today, thank you for your time, your perspective that you share with us. It drives everything that we do. And I think that, one of the key fundamentals of the leadership team that we have is, engage the customers, understand what they're up against. It's changing rapidly. We do our best to stay a few steps ahead so we can provide proper advice and consultation. But every interaction we have in the field is valuable, and we try to collate from all the different sources of engagement we have with you, from technical services, from the project engagements, as well as from the sales team. So again, thank you all for your time today. I know it's a great spot, but not necessarily down the road for everybody. So I appreciate the investment to come here and to have the exchange with us. I am going to talk about a few things. Mark, I've got about 90 minutes, is that right? Just 30? Okay. So I'm going to try to quickly, since most of you have probably very acquainted with Aspect, probably for a lot longer than I have been. I've been here again for about 8 months. Know the company as a competitor for about 6 or 7 years before that. So, but I've learned a lot about the company since I've arrived, and some of this may be very familiar, but I'll try to go through it quickly and then shape sort of what's happened, focus more on what's happened in the last year. And then at the end, provide a few tips for engaging with us. Because I think one of the things we can do today is make some suggestions for perhaps some methods for engaging with us that you haven't been used to, that you aren't aware is an option, and just kind of a little to-do list or checklist for those of you who want to make sure you keep up with what we're doing. So let's start with getting reacquainted. Many of you know that we've been at this for a long time. I didn't fully appreciate the history, again, as a competitor, and the remarkable number of innovations over the years. I won't go through them here, but for 40 years, this company's had a lot of firsts in technology, in the contact center space, in the optimization and workforce management space. What we've tried to do in the last year, and I think it's really working, and you'll see it, some news yesterday and today, and hopefully you feel it with some of the options that we've made available both in the portfolio and again with the services. We've kind of changed the culture a bit and changed some of our methodologies, all designed to keep up with today's pace. And we have to behave more like a startup company in terms of rapid decision making, agile development. I believe all 10 of the largest banks, retail banks in the world do business with us. The 5 largest airlines in the world, 8 out of 10 of the largest healthcare companies in the world are customers of ours. What that adds up to is a lot of experience. Every day, over 100 million transactions conducted on our platform, and 1.4 million agents currently operating using Aspect technology every day. And what I'm going to spend the next few minutes is talking about this foundation of technology innovation, of customer experience, and just the breadth of the portfolio of customers, and this market position that we have in a couple of areas, where that leaves us and how we think about that as the foundation for where we go from here. So that's kind of where we've been, where we've arrived, or what's brought us to where we are today. And I want to spend a little bit of time talking about this. If you think about our competition, they tend to fall in 2 different buckets. Many people look at our portfolio of products and we organize this way into 2 product lines, if you will. We have the interaction management, we call it, which is many people would just refer to as the contact center product line. And then we have the optimization portfolio, which has at its roots the workforce management and all of the complementary products we've added over the years. And so workforce optimization, and now just more broadly optimization, because we're getting outside of pure workforce and starting to optimize some other elements of the business processes, is a distinct part of our portfolio from the contact center. And you can use one and not the other if you like, either direction, and many customers do. But the opportunity that it creates to combine the 2, which really separates us from most of our competitors. Most are in one or the, in fact all of them are in one or the other. their core telephony or data networking background, and they've evolved their switches to be specialized to do contact center. Or they have a recording or optimization dimension in their background, and that's their focus, but they want to remain independent of the contact center players, so they've purposely chosen not to get into that space. Those are the two camps our competitors fall into. By participating in both, we think it creates a fundamental differentiation from the rest of the market. And we think what that's doing for us is allowing us to impact your businesses in a broader way. We use the term relationship revolution. Been talking about this a bit if you visited our website or been to any of our other events or perhaps just read some of our press releases. You start to hear this term that we coined a few months back. What does it mean? Fundamentally, it means that your customers are taking control of the dialogue with their brands that they do business with. It used to be the other way around. You gave them the choices, and those were their choices. But as we put smartphones in people's hands, as we deal with a new generation of customers that's grown up on the computer, that's grown up as multitaskers, that's grown up with a mobile device, it's changed their behavior and their preferences, and we are all reacting to that now. The great news is that it creates a terrific opportunity to lead them down a self-service path and shed some of the cost of servicing them the old-fashioned way via telephone calls. So that's great for all of your businesses, but it also creates a tremendous amount of complexity and a very, very high expectation. We feel like the variety of choices that they have and some of the trends that we see, 10 times growth in text messaging as compared to voice messaging, 3 times growth on mobile data traffic as compared to the growth rate on fixed broadband traffic. And now a crossing point where a higher number of people prefer a mobile app as their service vehicle to engaging with technical support in a traditional contact center environment. So, we obviously, that last one's pretty impactful to our business. We spend a lot of time thinking about that. What does that mean for the future of our business? And what it means is we have to provide a greater array of tools to help you deal with all of this. So, a couple of other interesting statistics that might give some insight as to why one of our new products came to light this year. If you look at the adoption rate of Twitter, just as an example, a proxy for broader social media adoption, you can see this tremendous take rate from a few of the top brands. The really interesting thing is that 70% of tweets to brands go unresponded. And that's probably okay for some of them because they're just giving you a shout out, love that soft drink. But there's pretty clearly a percentage of that 70 that was hoping for, asking for, maybe begging for a response. And you've all invested, you wouldn't be in this room if you hadn't invested significantly in a contact center. And a contact center with a very professional process, I imagine, in all cases, for responding in a consistent, professional way with a closed loop process and all of the appropriate supervision. So, where this leaves us is the contact center is still at the center, but the contact center has obviously a tremendous opportunity for redefinition. And it's not just through more channels, it's also through connectivity to the back office, awareness to all of those back office processes that are typically kicked off from a front office engagement. And the experience that we deliver in the contact center can be greatly enhanced with an intelligent connection to what's going on in that back office. And that's where we hope to bring our optimization experience to bear, not just within the contact center itself, but within the back office. Not for the obvious reason that there's a whole great opportunity to optimize and reduce cost and enhance productivity in the back office, just as we've been helping for 40 years in the front office. But also because then once you gain that knowledge and you gain that awareness to the status and the process of everything that's going on in that back office, to then be able to link that in and provide that information to the agents to allow them a higher percentage of first call resolution, to allow you to shed calls with better outbound notification engines. So, Aspect's changing at the same time. So we talked a little bit about where Aspect's foundation was laid, and we talked about what we see going on in the market. I want to just quick update on what's happened in the last year. Managed services capabilities is something we've put a lot of focus into in the last year. This past April, we signed with one of the largest banks in the world and one of our top 3 customers. We signed an arrangement to completely manage their Aspect infrastructure for them. So this is staff augmentation, reporting and monitoring and managing the moves, adds, drops, changes, and upgrades to all the platforms that they buy from us. And it's 10,000 plus seats, and we have a series of these types of engagements now, and a capability that everybody who's contemplating the best operational model should at least hear some of the options that we've made available that we didn't have even a year ago.